We would be honored if you would join us.
All right, welcome back into the Silvercast, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to have our third ever guest back on to join us today. Inefficient Stacker. How's it going, sir?
It is going good. Good to be here. Back on the Silvercast.
Oh yeah. And how you doing today, Silver Conundrum?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good, brother. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. So if you guys missed part one of this episode, we interviewed Inefficient Stacker and a lot of really interesting stories, a lot of fun, and some inspiration towards the end of the video. So you guys definitely need to go check that out if you haven't, and then come back. We're going to be getting into part two of this episode, and the topic for today is going to be about how can we make silver stacking fun and appealing to other people who are not necessarily in the community, and how to bring more people into the community. And we kind of actually touched on this a little bit towards the latter half of the previous part of this episode, but we're going to go ahead and expand on that topic a little bit more, because I think it's interesting and really going to be helpful and beneficial for everybody. And we're also ambushing Inefficient Stacker with questions, because he claims to be a man of the people, but you got to put your money where your mouth is and prove it. So we're going to be ambushing Inefficient Stacker throughout this.
I am a man of the people.
Well, you passed the test on the first part of this episode, so I'll go ahead and give you credit for that. You were a man of the people, but that's something you have to consistently prove. So we'll see if you continue to do it. But credit where credit's due. You definitely did. You hit it out of the park. Please note the disclaimer that Expat Stacker and Silver Conundrum are not financial advisors or experts. Investing is risky and comes with the chance that you could lose money. So talk to a licensed professional before making any decisions about what to do with your money. This video and all of the contents on our channels is for entertainment and educational purposes only, and should not be taken as financial advice. Yeah, like we were talking a little bit toward the end of the video about how there's such a wide range in our community of stackers, of younger folks, and I think the majority are probably male and probably in 30s and 40s, but we have female, we have kids, we have retired folks and everything. So it really, and I've noticed, by the way, like because I've been on YouTube for about a year or so, and I've noticed that there are more international channels popping up, which is cool for me because I'm into that kind of thing. But we talked about family as well last time. So I have 2 daughters, and I have another baby on the way, by the way. Korea has a population crisis. There's a lot of old people and not that many young people. So I'm trying to help them solve that problem. So
Understand.
Building a squadron.
Yeah, so I have kids, and that's definitely on my mind when it comes to stacking. I mean, ideally, my stack, I will never have to sell any of it, and I'll just be able to divvy it up, relatively equally and stuff, and pass it on as intergenerational wealth. And I'm already like seeing what they're into. Like one of them likes pandas, one of my daughters likes pandas, and the other one likes tigers. And so I'm kind of like getting some of that stuff together in terms of the bullion and stuff. And that's like kind of like my plan is to like introduce them to stacking through stuff that they genuinely are gravitating towards. Now, Silver Conundrum, you also have kids. you have a son, you have a daughter, and one of your kids, your daughter, Unicorn Stacker, actually is a YouTube content creator, and she's super into stacking. And Fish, you also have children, right? Is that correct?
I do.
Yeah. And are they into stacking?
One of them is. The other one, not so much. Not opposed to it. She just isn't quite into it, you know.
Not her
Okay.
thing yet.
Yeah, not yet. She's still young, so she'll. I think in time she'll, you know, she's definitely into hoarding cash.
Hey, that sounds exactly like my son.
She'll
He
make,
doesn't. He's not into stacking, but he hoards cash like there's no tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, Dad, can I get $20? And I'm like, I just looked at your savings account. You got $8,000. What do you need my $20 for?
Because I don't want to spend mine.
Yeah, exactly. So she's into hoarding cash, you know. But yeah, the other one definitely is into stacking.
Okay. And how did you introduce stacking to the one who's into stacking into it? How'd you introduce that?
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. She actually kind of got into it before I really told her about my stack. So she's into finances, into wealth preservation, growing her wealth and all that stuff. And so she was already kind of into it. And then she helps me out with my channel, and I pay her in precious metals.
Do me a favor. Don't say that too loud, because if my daughter hears you say that, I'm gonna be broke.
But as long as she, yeah, I got you. Well, yeah, it's you know, it's yeah.
You pay her in copper, right?
Yeah,
metal copper.
Yeah, a little bit of copper. Yeah.
Saw also that your father gave you a TNL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is he also into like wealth preservation with precious metals, or?
No, he wasn't. He just had he had just coins that were kind of passed down to him, or that he had from his childhood, and so he had some, as you referred to, some thick neck ladies in there, and some other stuff, some Indian heads and buffalo nickels and things. And so as a kid, I used to he would just let me look at them, and he would kind of show them to me, and then later in life he gave them to me. But he was never actually into stacking. He didn't really understand the value of them and things like that. But his just having those, like holding on to them, his own little treasures, memories, sort of, you know, from his childhood and stuff. That is probably that's what really got me hooked on treasure, so to speak. Was I just was so fascinated by how old the coins were, and I just really dig them. I wish I would have gotten into it much, you know, younger when I was a kid, which I did not. If you think about how much silver we just had passed through our hands as kids, back when junk silver was a lot easier to find. Yeah, so he really didn't, but his having that treasure and giving and letting me see it as a kid really piqued my interest into precious metals, for sure.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I've been kind of like a coin collector ever since I was younger. So I do have like a coin collection. It's back in the States, but and then I have some like mostly foreign coins here that I've collected over time, you know, because I've been like traveling around and stuff like that for work and just pleasure. I mean, since I've moved to Asia. So and that is like, I think that is a good avenue toward like introducing people into stacking and precious metals. That's definitely one potential way, which is kind of like what we're focused on in this part, which is like, how do we make this appealing to other people? And there's another expat. He's an Australian dude and then he lives at least part-time in Thailand, coin collecting with Dave, and like he mostly had a channel which was like coin collecting and some other stuff, introducing stuff from Thailand to people online and stuff like that. And he also like commented on a few of my videos, and he's like, "Oh, this is cool. Like, I think I'm gonna try to start getting into stacking this year." And he's done a couple of stacking videos. So I think like coin collecting is definitely one great way to kind of as an avenue to introduce people.
A good segue.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when they find out like that, oh, that quarter's worth $3 or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah. So coin collecting, definitely that's one good way to bring people into the stacking aspect of it. And you mentioned that hoarding cash. And I mean, if you could kind of change the perception of what money really is, right? Like the actual value of money versus currency, that might be another way. Silver Conundrum, how did you kind of introduce your daughter to stacking?
Best way to put it is pretty coins, in her words. I
Yeah.
found what she was into, man. Like, she's into unicorns. I showed her unicorns. She's into furry animals. I showed her furry animals. And once she realized they made these coins that had all these mythical animals and furry animals on it, she fell in love with them and she wanted to collect them. So she started collecting them. Grandpa started buying them for her. And then as she got older, she actually started understanding that these are worth money. And then when she realized that she could sell these things and make more money, that's when she was hooked. So, for example, she helped me pick out a coin. I can't remember what it was now, but it was a couple months ago. I say probably about 8 or 9 months ago. And she picked it out. She goes, I think this one will be a good coin. I was like, okay, cool. I'll buy it. No big deal. I bought it for, I think, like 16, 18 bucks. Well, the coin at the coin shop where I bought it from, well, it was like a $60 coin. I think it was like, I want to say it was like the elephant or something like that. And I flipped that coin and sold it like literally within a couple of days. And I sold it. And she's like, I did good, huh? I was like, yeah, actually, you really did good. Here's you some profit money. She went out and bought her own coin. And that's what started it. And so she started buying her own little collection and just because they were pretty unicorns. That's what she wanted. And we went to a coin show and she was telling everybody there's a unicorn coin. And everybody at this coin show told her there's no such thing as a unicorn coin. They said there's unicorn bullion. She goes, no, you're wrong. And they said because she's a kid, she didn't know the difference. And she told them, no, you're wrong because you're an adult. You think I'm a child and you think I'm wrong. And she stood her ground. But she came across a vendor that actually had a unicorn coin. And it was the Queen's Beast series. And she knew about it. Yeah, she knew about it. And she bought it. And she went to every vendor and showed it off. And you know how when little kids, when they're right against an adult, they have that very specific smile they do? She did it. But the vendors wasn't rude. They wasn't taken back by it. They were proud of her because she stood her ground. And she didn't let no one back her down to a corner and make her and step back. So because of that, they actually gave her ounces of silver for holding her ground. And we didn't put that in the video that we did because that's just something between her and them. But they gave her silver for standing her ground. And that solidified her coin or her silver stacking that day at that coin show that we did. And she's been stacking hardcore, brother, ever since. And when I say hardcore, I mean, hey, daddy, I have 20 bucks. What can I buy? I always tell her, hang on to your money. You'll find something better. Hang on to your money. You'll find something better. Wait till you get a couple $100 on you, and we'll put our money together and make a big order. Or we go to the coin shop and we'll do a big purchase. And so she's been jonesing, and we just went today, and she did the $10 a week challenge. She'll have a video coming out about that, man. You can't, trust me, a little chunky monkey beat me again. Yeah, it's not funny. It's not fair either. Anyway, that's just me pouting. But
so like it sounds like it kind of started off with like something that she's personally interested in, and I've seen that she's really into like it seems like she's artistic because she like designed her own channel sticker, and I've seen that like Anna T did a mail call with Unicorn Stacker and she sent her a picture.
She is so artsy, it's not even funny. if it deals with art, unicorn coloring, anything that's art related, the girl is elbow deep in it. So I tried to do what my dad did with me. My dad took me and showed me what I liked and around the way I like things. And I've done my daughter the exact same way he did me, just on a different aspect for her. And it seemed to have taken off like wildfire. So for anybody who has kids, I think getting into our generations, what we got going on, take Stacking Silverman, for example. His kid number 4, she is doing her little thing now. She's doing a $10 a week challenge, and she's just a little one. So think what she'll be at in a couple years if she keeps it up. So starting them off early, man, is just a way to keep our generation of knowledge moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm drawing a connection in my mind right now between what we're talking about right now, which is like using whatever the younger person is genuinely interested in, and using that as an avenue toward, introducing stacking. And then I'm also thinking about what Fish said about like how he came up with the name of his channel, because people, on especially in the YouTube comments, they like to, tell why we're wrong about like buying fractional pieces of gold or silver or something like that. And it's like, there's a difference between like trying to lecture someone and tell them why, you should do it this way or do it that way, versus just, doing it and letting people experience it for themselves. I also think that sometimes we can learn through making mistakes, but when you're like stacking, or when you're acquiring precious metals, mistakes, and I put that in quotation marks, yeah, they could get pricey. Like if you went out and spend a few $1,000s on a single ounce of silver, which you could do, it might be, you could consider that a pretty costly mistake. But in general, I think like the mistakes or things that people learn, it's not that actually damaging, because you still got silver or gold, and if you hang on to it long enough, it can recoup its value. So like the mistakes, they're not that painful, the lessons to be learned. So I think like those are some good points.
Just along those lines, like one of the reasons I started stacking a little bit more aggressively, not of recent, but when I went from, say, when we talked about in the previous interview or previous episode, when I started stacking in 2003, but then that slowly picked up over the years, and was just to put my money somewhere else so I wasn't wasting it on stuff. And so people would, you watch videos and everyone can like kind of overanalyze, all the ways you're inefficiently stacking or wasting your money or paying premiums or whatever. But I always looked at it like, look at all the money I saved. I mean, I would have blown that money on something else. So you're quibbling over premiums. That money would have been spent on stuff that I have nothing to show for. At least I have something to show for it. So there's almost a part of me that even though like I would say, all right, so I'm losing money, maybe I'm not stacking as efficiently, or, because I can't afford the bigger stuff, but I can afford gram bars or different things. But hey, I'm wasting less is almost kind of how I thought about. Not so much now, because I'm kind of at a different place, but in the initial years that, people waste so much money on junk, and it's like, well, like you said, it's not that bad of a mistake if you bought some silver and you paid a little extra premium or whatever. Could you do better if you educate yourself more? Sure, but at least you didn't waste it.
Well, that goes back to the whole proverbial, and I hate to say this, look at people who smoke. That little $3-4 a pack, or even up to $7 or $11 a pack, depending on where you live at, goes up in smoke every pack. So if you smoke literally 3 packs a day, which I do know people that I work with that smoke 3 packs a day, 21
3 packs a day?
3 packs a day. One of the guys I work with, he chain smokes. And I don't understand how he's able to breathe. It blows my mind. So if you take that and just do the math, that's just him.
Yeah.
And he wants to pick on me for stacking. But I'm like, okay, well, you just smoked how much money? And
Yeah.
you just look at it. So people can waste money, like exactly what you said. And when your daughter comes to you and say, hey, daddy, I have 250 ounces of silver. I want to go buy my first car now. Guess what happens? She can go buy her first car, and daddy doesn't have to put a single dollar down on it. You go cash out, say, okay, baby girl, let's go do it. Or she says, hey, daddy, I want to put a down payment on a house. Can you help me? Here it is. You have it.
Yeah. And I mean, the smoking is a good example, but that's also like an addiction and something. But like, just like you could say the same thing about people that, fast food and stuff like that. But even kind of beyond that, or to expand on what you're saying, Conundrum, like, think about hobbies, right? So stacking for me is a hobby, but it's the only hobby I've ever had. And I've had a lot of different things I've been into over the years that is not sucking all of my resources, and it's not just going away. I mean, I can't think of too many hobbies. I can't think of a single hobby I've had in the past that's built my financial, stability, or foundation. You know what I mean? Like, I still have that foundation from this hobby that I was working on back in 2003. There isn't a single other hobby that I've had over my life that I can even point to the stuff. It's all been thrown away or gone or whatever. You know what I mean? So when I'm talking about wasting, I'm not just talking about like, I mean, that's like serious wasting, like when you're looking at, excessive smoking or just smoking in general, I guess. But if you just think about it from the hobby standpoint, like you're teaching your kids to stack as a hobby, I mean, that's a great place to put. I think it's the greatest hobby ever. I can't think of a better hobby than stacking.
Oh, if you look at it from a hobby point of view, yeah, agreed. There's not a better hobby out there that is as liquid and as refreshing as the one what we have right now. And it just goes a long way, and it's generational.
Yeah.
Remember when I was a kid, I used to cut my neighbor's grass. We lived on a military base when I was like young, real young. And I used to cut my neighbor's grass. We had like big communal housing and stuff like that. My mom was enlisted in the military, and I used to cut my neighbor's grass and pull up their weeds and stuff like that. And I would get paid like $1 or $2 or something like that. And then I would go down to Shopette, which is like, like a little military convenience store. And I would buy football cards, like American football cards, with my money. And like that was just like what I was super into and stuff. And some of the coins that I would get back in the change and stuff like that, I would collect that. So, but I mean, like, if I feel like I've kind of always been into that, like, kind of collecting and hobby aspect. When I got a little bit older, I was also into like model airplanes and stuff like that, building model airplanes and things like that, and collecting other stuff, but it's like you said, I mean, some of the football cards that I have, probably I could sell it online or whatever, but it's not the same as precious metals, you know what I mean? Not even in the same arena. So I mean, I think you guys are dead on, with your analysis there. So that's really a good point. And another thing that we have, just kind of opening it up more onto like the YouTube aspect of it is there are a lot of different ways in which channels interact with each other. So I'm thinking about like, giveaways and challenges, which you guys mentioned, like $10 a week challenge, and obviously Inefficient Stacker, the brain that thought of the 100 pieces of gold challenge, and I know I'm doing it, Austrian Stacker's doing it, and there are a number of other channels who are doing it as well. I thought it was just me and Austrian Stacker, but there were a few other.
I think Golden Gun's doing it too.
He's doing it, and then there, God, I can't remember. I'm
There's
really
a
sorry.
lot of y'all that are doing that challenge, man.
Yeah.
There's every bit of 10 or better.
I think it's Prepper Jack, if I'm right. He did a video where he like listed all the channels that he knows who's doing it, and like, so I mean, there's the challenges, there's like mail calls, and people send each other letters and stickers and stuff like that. And then, Fish, you mentioned about like how connecting with other members of the community, there's like benefits that come along with that, and you're like slowly trying to monopolize the YouTube community's market and buy everyone's stack, right?
Yes.
So like, man of the people, we'll see, but for now, let's just ask a question about that. So who said, Fish, thank you for your friendship? Thank you.
that would be Bad Attitude, BA, Bullion Addict.
That's absolutely correct.
Thank you very. He also writes like a serial killer, but that's another issue.
Oh my god.
If you go back and watch the video and look at his handwriting, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. He was like in a hurry. He gave me a whole explanation on what happened, but and then I saw future videos of other people, and I saw their handwriting or the video, and his handwriting was fine. But in the one he did with mine, it was like he wrote it with like his left hand or something and just scribbled it on there, and it was so funny. But I couldn't finish that video because as soon as I read "thank you," then I just lost it. I couldn't even talk. It was, thank you very much. It was so funny.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah, Bullion Addict.
Yeah. Bullion Addict, great channel.
Yep.
Yeah,
So he's, when you're talking about getting, like, how do we grow the community or grow, make stacking popular? I mean, Bullion, he's one of these guys that has so much knowledge. He's been doing it forever, even though he's a new content creator. Mm-hmm. One thing I enjoy is interacting with smaller channels, and just getting all the different perspectives and really supporting smaller channels. And when I say smaller, just maybe not, just not as, kind of like the newer channels that come up. And I think there's a lot to be said for, I mean, there's all the big channels, which are great, but I really enjoy just getting to know the people and, whether it's like you said, sticker trades. I know I get accused of being a sticker stacker because I have so many, which I guess I am a sticker stacker. I have a lot of freaking stickers. I just got a new sticker in just today. But I think that is a great way to encourage people, because not everyone can afford to stack, as much as other people can every week or every month, but you can still be involved in the community, do sticker trades, things like that, and just stay connected to what's going on, which is a good thing, because when to be reactive to, like people in life, they'll just check out of one thing and move on. So it's nice that there's ways you can stay involved in the community, but maybe you're not stacking at the highest level, but you can still be involved,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know what? I'm the same way. I like to find channels that are just kind of getting started, and if I like what they have to say, or I think they have something like a unique perspective or something like that, then I'm gonna give them a shout out, and especially I like to find channels of people who are in international countries, and I've been noticing since I've joined, there have been a lot who have joined, and I'm thinking of there's a channel called Investing Magpie.
Oh yes, Maggie,
yep.
He's great.
Familiar with him.
Yeah,
I love his song. His opening song. It's like a catchy jingle.
His little intro.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, really great channel. There's another guy out of Australia, one of Golden Gun's compatriots through this time, who I really like. And there's a South African channel. We got the European channels, Canadian channels, I really like that because they bring a different perspective as well. And like, if you're just getting, even like you said, Bullion Addict has a lot of knowledge. He's been doing this for a long time, as have you. But some people are just coming to YouTube and starting. And like, if you're just getting started on YouTube, and someone who has, a few hundred subscribers or a few thousand subscribers gives you like a shout out, and you're like, oh, like welcoming you with open arms and supporting you and stuff like that. I mean, that's definitely going to get someone stick around a little bit longer. Because it's like you said, some people just like try it. I mean, there are a lot of channels also who like they've made probably 5 videos, and a lot of them, the first video that they made is like a full stack thing, and like, you know, I feel like those people are, there's nothing wrong with that. They're trying it out, you know what I mean? But if it doesn't stick, then, you know, maybe they'll stop making videos but continue stacking, or maybe they'll just move on to like something different. But
downside is most of those people just quit doing videos.
yeah, because once you get the bug, I mean, it's kind of hard to,
You just can't quit. You can't stop the bug.
yeah. And I know that some of them, it's like they stop making videos, but they still comment and stuff, you know? So, and I mean, it's like you said, you know, making the videos is not super easy. That's like a whole nother ballgame. You gotta learn some skills and stuff like that. At least like some editing skills and stuff. So, but you know, I do have another question, which is, what are your top 5 videos on your channel, Fish?
Like my own personal opinion, or as far as rankings?
Rankings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see. I forgot the name of the video, but it's the one about why I stack fractional gold. I know that's a very high ranking one. A lot of different diverse opinions on that. My full stack silver bars video was definitely very high. Anything silver related. Silver's king when it comes to content. For my videos, at least. Are those two? Are those 2 of the 5? Silver.
The full stack video is number 1.
Okay, of silver.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. and then but what about like how I stack the frac, or how I
that's in the top 10, but it's not in the top 5.
It's not in the top 5. Okay, it's got to. Is it 5 silver videos?
Yes.
Yeah, they're all silver, so it's got to be.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint on 2 of the others. They're not full stacks, but they're pretty high in terms of the ounces.
Yeah, if that's the thing. If you put like a little hint to channels, if you put the ounces in the video title, you get much better views. Like I've had videos that have shown more, but I didn't put that in the thumbnail. They don't get as good of views. I stopped caring about that, so I don't even do it anymore. But let's see. It's got to be silver bars. I'm telling you, the silver bars.
Yeah.
The silver bars videos, because I've got one that was like 130 ounces, and I had one that was like maybe 270 or something. I have the full stack one.
Okay, so that 130 is number 2.
Okay, that was popular.
And it was 309 of the silver bars. That's number 4. So you got 1, 2, and 4.
What was the one about the most perfect silver round? Was that one of them? About the acai rounds? That one did pretty good.
I don't. No. That's not. I don't think that.
They're all more serious videos. Like it will not be any Senior Poucher video. I know that.
That's true.
And they're not gold videos, so they're not my 100 pieces of gold challenge. They're all more serious, like not serious per se, but you know what I mean. Just like me showing my stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just know they're all silver. That's what I do know.
Yeah. And okay, I'll give you a hint on number 3, which is something is the new something.
Oh, is that the 3 is the new 5 and 5 is the new 10?
Yes, good. Okay, and the last one. It's your only video that has a 4-letter word in the
yes. The title is just 4 letters, right?
Right.
Oh man, which one is that? I had a thing where I went on a roll where I made several videos and I just used a 3 or 4 or like a just one word for the title.
Starts with an F, maybe.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
With an F?
Yeah. It's a 4-letter word that starts with an F, which is not a profanity.
Right. I was saying it wouldn't be it's not flip. It's I don't know, man. I'm stumped. I don't know myself.
All right. It's FOMO, confession.
Oh, FOMO. My
Yeah.
FOMO video, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I suffer from FOMO big time.
Dude, you
Always.
ain't the only one.
Everyone
see
does. It's
something-
my theory. I feel like everyone does. It's just people don't, they don't want to admit
They
it.
don't
But
talk about it.
we all, yeah, we all do. We all
Like,
do.
see, I'll talk about it. Expat Stacker got the Fenrir Dragon. And guess who didn't have one? I didn't. And guess who had to go buy one the same day he sent me a picture of it? This guy right here.
It was like a minute later. You're like, you got it too? Okay, that's it. And then like you sent me like a screenshot, like I got it finally.
I just did some FOMO just 2 days ago. So you know those peanuts silver rounds that came on AppMex, the yellow and black ones?
Yeah.
Yep.
That were in the cards.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the essays. So I wanted those, and they were all sold out. And so some new ones hit, and I immediately bought them because I'm like, if I don't buy them now, they're going to be gone. So
Yeah.
I just bought 10 of them. I have no idea why, but I now have 10 peanut cards coming to me because
But
I
you
missed
know
out
what?
on the yellow ones. So I'm going to try and
I'm gonna
trade
say-
5 red ones for 5 yellow ones with somebody because someone's got to have a bunch of the yellow ones.
Somebody's going to trade them. They're going to need them.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got 10 of those coming because I was in fear of missing out because I did miss out. See, FOMO is a real thing. It's
It
a
is.
warning sign. Yeah.
And it gets the best of all of us. You don't have to be all high and mighty or first time buyer. Everybody has FOMO. It doesn't matter who you are, or how much you want to admit to it. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I think we talked about Juice before. Juice talks about that as well, about how like you got to stay patient, and it's hard. It's hard to do, I feel like for me personally, it affects me more with the stock market because it's so much more volatile. And like for me, like the precious metals is more like I look at it as like a long-term gradual thing, but there are like individual pieces where as soon as it comes out, I got to get it, so like for example, the Perth Mint Dragon coin bars, that's like my big obsession, and I got to get it. As soon as I see it, no matter what happens, I'll do whatever it takes to get that. So you're right, definitely it's a real thing. So that's a good topic for it. And I'd say like you got basically 4 out of 5. So it's still a man of the people, just a little old. So
Yeah. I just got my first bifocals, so I am getting old.
so yeah, back to like how we can, make silver stacking fun and appeal to others. And we were just kind of talking about this a little bit, like trades, trading with people in the community, and also there's auctions. I don't really participate in that quite as much because of where I'm at, like I'm overseas, and it's gonna be expensive to send things. So I don't do that quite as much, but I observe, I watch, I participate, I comment and stuff, but I think like trades and buying each other's stacks and auctions are like some good ways to support the community and to get people involved. I mean, I know there's some people who really enjoy doing that stuff. So, and I've seen, both of you guys who participate in that. So what do you think about like doing trades and auctions and stuff like that?
I think they could be fun. I've done some trades with people before for sure. I've gotten into the auctions. I think the biggest thing to get people involved is just to keep it fun. If your channel's fun and you are generally, have a somewhat of a lighthearted attitude, not so serious, then you're going to appeal to more people, and then you're going to meet cool people to trade with. I mean, you're going to meet people that you can trust to buy from. I do think that if you want to get involved in the community, the auctions are a good way to build a reputation as a reliable person because you're buying stuff and then, and then that they can vouch for you and things like that. So that is just a simple way to get involved in the community is through some auctions like Guido Stacking or something, when he does auctions. There's a lot of different auctions out there. But that is a good way to get involved for sure. I know when I first started doing channel content, I got involved in the auctions just to get known, because people are like, who is this guy? They don't know you, you know, so that's a good way.
Yeah, that's true. And that reminds me of Mad Stacker. He's been doing it lately.
Yeah.
And I mean, he started after I did, and well, there were a lot of people who started after I did who are way bigger, but that's because if you're inefficient, dude, I'm inconsistent. I should change my channel to Inconsistent Stacker. I go on a run of like, I'll do like a video every day for like 2 weeks, and then I'm like gone for like a month or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's because life happens, though.
Yeah. Because if I don't do that to YouTube, then I'll be doing that to my children, and I much rather like go, you know, missing from YouTube for a month than be like,
right.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. You gotta take care of life, you know.
Yeah. It's like you said, you know, like you gotta have fun with it. You know what I mean? So like that's I think that's another thing too, is that like, just being honest with yourself about it. Like, you monetize your channel and then you demonetized it because it was like making it not what you were doing it for, right? So like it made it almost like a business thing where like you had taxes involved, and you were like, to make it worth it, you would have had to make videos that were like, you knew how to make the videos that would hit and get a lot of clicks, but those weren't the type of videos you wanted to make. So like, you wanted to continue to do it for the reason of enjoying it and like having a hobby. And like, that kind of reminds me of like, I've read about like, you know, while I'm researching for retirement, it's not just about stacking and stuff, but like having hobbies and stuff and like things that you genuinely enjoy doing. Because a lot of people think like, oh, I'll just have all this free time when I retire and I'll just golf, you know, but then like, that's all they know. So they're at the golf course every day. It becomes like a serious thing. Like, it's not enjoyable anymore. It's like, you got to do it. It's almost like work, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, and I had a big focus where I wanted to get monetized. Initially I didn't think I wanted to, but then my hours and it just kind of took off. The channel took off and I realized I'm going to be able to do this. But then, like you said, it's got to be fun. And there's so many different challenges when you grow your channel that big. One of the biggest challenges was it was hard to be responsive to everybody because you have so many subscribers. So anyone who subscribes to my channel, I appreciate it. I just keep them coming. I have no problem with it, but I no longer really care about actually growing it anymore. So, and you know, I want to be able to watch everyone's content and all my buddies, everyone that I've met in the community. And I don't know how these big channels can possibly stay connected with the individuals anymore. And I got into this for what I enjoyed most was the relationships I was building. So yeah, it just wasn't right for me. And then the other thing, like you said, is that you realize what type of content gets the clicks, which I can make those videos, but those aren't the videos I really enjoy. So I enjoy like the Red Balls of Fury, Senior Palcho. I mean, those do my absolute worst. But those are the ones that I have the most fun with. So, or just goofing off or whatever. So yeah, you definitely want to have, you know, in life, you want to have stuff that you enjoy, and you can't turn all your hobbies into work because work is work, you know?
Yeah.
That's right. Without work, you can't afford your hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. So I just enjoy making content, and really, I just enjoy being a part of the community. Making content is part of that. You know, sometimes I'm just watching other people's videos and commenting. Other times I'm putting out my own stuff, but I just enjoy being a part of it and realize pretty much I had succeeded in what I wanted to do, which was to become a part of the community. So that was it, you know, didn't need to be monetized.
I was like,
awesome, man.
You know, even though I roasted you about that, like in this song.
Me that stack like Jerry Maguire, but you can't because you ain't acquired as much as you claim. Can't handle the fortune and fame. Monetize, demonetize, it's all the same. Boy, you hella lame.
I was like, actually, the reason I did it is because I thought that was like one of the coolest things I had seen, you know, because like, you know, each individual one of us is a member of the community, and we all have a influence on the direction that this community goes in. And like, the fact that you not only demonetize your channel, but also like made a video about it and explained why, I was like, this is so solid. This is like, helping to put it in perspective. Because I think for everybody who starts just a small time channel on YouTube, doesn't matter what it's about, stacking or otherwise, it's like a journey. Nobody really knows how it's gonna go, and they learn lots of things along the way. And I think that you pointing out that, like, hey, it's not all about getting to 1,000 subscribers and whatever watch hours. I don't know what the threshold is, but like, it's not all about that monetization. Like, it could be fun. And to me, it's also about the relationships. I love interacting with the audience. I've learned so much, even through the YouTube comments and stuff like that. And it's also, I like to bring my perspective, which is from, I've been living overseas for a long time. I've traveled a lot. So I like to have fun. I like to like joke around a little bit too. And then I have some videos that are kind of more on the serious side, but you're right. Like those videos, the videos where it's like more fun or, something positive, those do much better. You know what I mean? So, I totally agree with that. And I think that's really, I don't know how the big, huge channels, I'm at the point now where like it is difficult to interact with all the viewers who comment and everything. I still try to do it, but it's getting hard. I'm at like right around 500. So like, I definitely can understand that, but the more we can do to support each other, then the better, So
one thing that I find hard is as we try to support each other, there are so many of us out there right now that it's hard to be on everybody's channel, because I have probably about 100 people that I follow and watch. And when you try to watch all those videos and then try to leave a comment or whatever, man, that is literally a full-time to part-time job. And there's not enough hours in the day when you work crazy hours, or even if you have a regular job, you just can't physically do it.
Yeah. That's why I don't feel that guilty about like, taking a week or two or whatever off, because it's like, well, there's plenty of other people out there, so I'm not that important.
Agreed. But I love trying to support my fellow YouTubers, especially the ones like what we're talking about, that we've grown so close together, and we all started around the same time and helped each other grow up and always just around one another. That's one of the things that is just like, you want to support them and you want to watch them grow, but sometimes you're like 5, 6, 7 episodes behind, and it's like, crap, how do I catch up? Okay, well, I'll leave a comment anyway.
You just got to jump to the front video and just back at it. You know what I mean? Like if you missed it, you missed it. I just want to point out that Expat that you said, I believe you said, you have to roll the tape back. You said, I'm really not that important. And then Silver Conundrum said, I agree.
I didn't mean it like that.
I'm pretty sure that's what just happened.
That's not what I meant.
That was the mini bro. We'll go ahead and play the tape back.
Well, crap. Okay, I'm busted.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, man. My side hurts.
Memory is like, it's starting to fade a little bit, but it's still sharp. Good listener.
Oh, yeah.
Good like an elephant. Good job, brother.
Yeah. It was a great one-liner.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. This is the last Silvercast you'll hear for a while. Oh, man. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, man, my side's still hurting. Oh, crap.
Dude, I was about to say something, and I'm totally forgot now, because
I'm sorry, I derailed us.
No, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Oh, man, it's great. Oh, yeah. My son.
Oh, I remember what it was now. Okay. So when I introduced or when we had the episode with Golden Gun, he talked about how like in Australia there's like some forum thing and how they have like meetups and get-togethers. I think that would be so awesome, one day, if like the people who have been doing this for a while, have some kind of like meetup or something, later on down the line. That would be really cool, you know. And also, here's one thing that I have been thinking about personally for a while. So we've been talking about all these different ways to get everybody involved, and now that we do have, you know, pretty good community going, a lot of people are involved. I've noticed something very specific when it comes to stacking gold, which is that many people have said that they wish that the U.S. Mint would make fractional gold buffaloes again. I know they did it like a while back, just as like a special thing. So what I was thinking is, I'm gonna contact the U.S. Mint, and I'm gonna find out if we can get some kind of petition going, and on our community, if we can get enough like signatures or something like that, and get them to do it. You know, to show them that the demand is there, and because I mean, I know that they're always looking for new products and new things to sell. It seems like they're going more and more towards like the privies and the super special coins and stuff like that. But hey, if we can show them that there's a huge demand for this and that we'll buy it if they make it, let's do that. So I think that would be a kind of a cool thing to do as a community, and I'm gonna try to make it happen. Do you guys have any?
I would sign that petition for some to get some half ounce and quarter ounce and 1/10 buffaloes out there. That would be sweet.
I'd sign it and help you, but I'm too poor to afford gold.
Well, if there's a 1/10 ounce gold buffalo, you would be able to afford gold. But you don't really stack gold though, right?
No, I showed you my first piece of gold that I've ever bought with my own money.
You bring up a good point though, like with the U.S. Mint. I don't know what their deal is, but I mean, I love U.S. Mint stuff, but they're not creative when it comes to. I mean, they put out basketball coins and all this stuff that's like, I mean, who buys that? Yeah, who buys that? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't get it. It's all this. We got Barbara Bush on a gold coin. We got, I understand the First Lady series, I guess, but it's just, for the World War II, right? Yeah. I mean, I thought, I don't know, they could have done a better, just a privy for like that. That's how you honor that, just a privy.
Right.
It's the same freaking coin. Why couldn't they put out a true bullion coin that was different than the American Silver Eagle for World War II? I feel like that could have been done, but they're not very imaginative.
You mean kind of like what the Perth Mint does with their World War II coins?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like the Perth Mint, don't they have a coin about like Midway and like it's
they
like
do.
Like a P-51 flying and like shooting, and it's like it looks like a cover of an action movie or something. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Canada. I mean, they've got 2 ounce and a half. They have all this different stuff. The U.S. Mint just isn't very creative, in my opinion. Although,
oh no, I agree with you, man.
I still want to stack, but yeah, it's
the American Eagles have been the same coin since 1986. It just put a different year on it. It's like, yay, we got another American Eagle.
Yeah, they got that new design coming out in 2021, right? They got the new one, but
you're right. This is gonna be for the next 40 years.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just think they could they could do some more sizes. Like they did the 5 ounce series on the America the Beautiful, which I really dig those coins. But they could do some 5 ounce or 2 ounce or whatever based upon like the American Silver Eagle, right?
Yeah. They should do some bars too.
That would be legit. I would
invest in that. I don't care what it is. Gold, silver, platinum, I'd invest in that.
I mean, I think the best silver bar out there, I don't actually stack it because it always has a premium, but is the Canadian bar.
Yeah.
The Royal Canadian Mint.
RCM.
Yeah, the RCM 10 ounce bar. That is, I mean, it's got a serial number. It's from a sovereign mint. It's such a cool bar. I don't actually stack them, but if we had those coming from the U.S. Mint, I bet they would do well.
Dude, I'd stack those like crazy. 10 ounce bars make up the solid base of my stack.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love the 10 ounce bars. I just like to me, they're perfect for whatever you want to do with them. But that's just my opinion. And then, like you said, I would stack those even. I mean, most people would.
Yeah,
Okay.
they would do well. They would do well.
I think we have 2 petitions we're gonna get going here. So one is the fractional gold buffaloes, and I mean, if someone from the U.S. Mint listens to this and they hear that people will sign the petition but not buy it, and they might not be convinced. So would you buy Silver Conundrum 10-ounce gold buffalo?
Yes, I would do it just for you, brother. I really would.
Awesome. And then we are going to get a petition going for the 10-ounce bars from the U.S. Mint as well. So let's do it. Let's make something happen. And like, you know, I think that you know, I feel like a lot of people maybe feel a little bit like helpless these days about what's going on in society and stuff like that. But if we show that, I mean, if we're capable of actually doing this, I mean, I think even if we do not succeed, but it would still be a good exercise as like a community. And I think we do have a possibility of succeeding because, like you said, it seems like they're having a hard time coming up with ideas at the U.S. Mint. So maybe we can help them out with the creative brainstorming process a little bit, and if we give them like 10,000 signatures or whatever it is, endorsements, and be like, yo, let's get some fractional gold buffaloes and some 10-ounce U.S. Mint silver bars. You know, come on, man, we can't lose to Canada like this.
Yeah, well, we are definitely losing. I just wonder how many years in advance they plan this stuff out, you know, because
it seems like it's a immediate thought process. Because I mean, some of the stuff they come up with, it looks like a 2-year-old did it.
Yeah.
I think we talked about a lot of great ways that we can, you know, appeal to like the younger generation and like how the community interacts with each other, and maybe even some things that we can do as a community. Do you guys have any other thoughts about like ways to appeal to people, like challenges or whatever, these kinds of videos where everybody can kind of try to do it? Or ways of things that we could do as a community? Any thoughts on that?
I think we could always try a personal collection challenge. Like, say, for example, if you like dragons, who has the biggest dragon stack?
Yeah.
That is just an example.
Yeah.
Like,
we all lost.
Give an example out of nowhere. No, nothing. You know, I don't know. Who knows? I don't even know why you thought of dragons. Right?
Yeah, I think that like as it relates to challenges, you know, having challenges that are attainable by everybody, you know. So like when I did the 100 pieces of gold challenge, you know, it's like you could, you know, it doesn't matter if you end up stacking 100 ounces or 5 ounces. You stack 100 pieces, you know. You've seen other, like there's the $10 a week silver challenge. Most people can do $10 a week.
easily.
You know, there's a lot of. I just
There's a poured challenge.
Well, what's that?
There's also a poured challenge, weekly poured challenge.
Yeah, where it's not necessarily a competition where you're trying to beat anyone. It's just a challenge against yourself that other people can participate in. And so if you center the challenges around there, I think those are the ones that tend to catch on, and then get other people interested, because you're not, you know, trying to be. I mean, because what does it take to win a challenge? Enough money, right? So that, you know, if it's a competition, right? But if it's just a challenge, it doesn't really matter what your end result is. If you're challenging yourself and improving yourself in your stack, and you know, so I think making them attainable is important for anybody, regardless.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's a lot of you know, individualism that comes into someone's stack. You can kind of see a lot about an individual based on what they stack. And like when you like set a bar and then you say, okay, here's the challenge, you know, and make it attainable for everyone, you can also, you know, see a lot about their personality and stuff like that based on how they do it. And like it's cool, you know. I think it's really good idea. And if people have creative ideas about different kinds of challenges that, like Fish was saying, center around you know, attainability and that everybody can do it, go ahead and leave it in the comments section. You know, we love to you know, hear these different ideas. So yeah, that's great.
I do have one comment too about like this is just my opinion on as it relates to gauze and the giveaways, right? For a while when I first got into the community, there was like all this terminology I didn't understand it was. I'm like, what is the GAW? And then finally, the giveaway. But I think like when you're getting people involved, one thing I've always tried to do with my GAWs is reward my subscribers in whatever creative way I can come up with that. So I'm not just giving away to a complete stranger that I don't even know, because there's a lot of people that know we have a super generous community. So you have a bunch of GAWs that are going on and everyone gets in, try and win whatever we're giving away. So I've tried to almost make my GAWs either kind of line them up with a challenge, like you had to roast me, and then if you roasted me, you could get into my GAW, or I had the 100 pieces of gold challenge, and I had a GAW that went with that. So anyone who put out a content video on their GAW, on their the challenge, got entered into my GAW, which, so I think there's ways you can get people into the community and incorporate your GAWs in a way that reward the community, as opposed to just rewarding whoever.
Yeah, that's a good point. I totally agree with that. I've been kind of thinking about that because I know a lot of people do like 100 subscribers, 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscriber GAWs and stuff, and like I'm like, I want to do that because I want to like thank my viewers and my audience, but at the same time, I don't just want to like, if I do the random YouTube comment picker thing, like the typical GAW, then like it would be cool. But what if I land on someone who I don't even know, and it's like, so I think you bring up a good point. Like, all of these kind of like popular things that we do, making it like kind of count, for more.
Yeah. Like I try and make them. I just try and by making them earn it, so to speak. The people that get it are people that are really into your channel. They're actually your supporters. So I don't think I've ever given away anything, and I've done a lot of giveaways, but I don't think I've ever given away anything to someone that I didn't know. That I wasn't like, oh, they're on my channel. They comment all the time, because the nature of the GAW forces them to do that. A lot of them are surprise GAWs too, so they don't even know they're happening. But then people know that, hey, I do surprise GAWs. So by interacting with my channel, you just get rewarded because you're part of the community.
Right. Yeah.
And that is by itself a good thing too. That helps keep people interactive anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's one of the biggest things, like exactly what you just said, Expat, is having people that literally just show up, for example, today, and hit the like button and leave a comment today, versus someone who's been on your channel since day one and comment on every video, and you hit that random YouTube maker, and guess what? That one person wins the GAW that just did it today, and everybody else is left in the cold, and it's like, who is this guy anyway? So I understand exactly where y'all are coming from. It makes perfect sense. So I might actually have to readjust my way of thinking just because of that.
Yeah. There's a dude in New Zealand. Oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of his channel. Anyway, he was like, he wanted to get over to 1,000 subscribers, I guess.
Oh, Silver Tanifa?
Yeah. And like he did this video where he like went out into the forest and hid like a gold coin in a tree. And like I like the ones where they ask their audience to make videos about their GAW, so like that's cool. I don't really participate in all of them, but like, and a lot of times, even if I enter like a comment, I'm like, yeah, just if I win, just like choose someone else, but because I'm like so far away and stuff like that. So I got to get my PO box set up. I've been lagging on that, but it's not as easy to do. It's not as easy to do out here in Korea because it's not as common a thing. Mostly it's reserved for just businesses, but I know it's possible. I just gotta get on it. But anyway, guys, I think what's that?
Said Slacker.
Oh, Expat Slacker. Yeah, there you go.
Love
Dude.
you.
Okay, so whenever I finally do get the PO box set up, I got the title of that video.
Expat Stacker.
PO box. Yeah, awesome. Dang, man, this is like the I'm getting roasted lightweight by Silver Conundrum today.
Yeah, he's on it. He's on you.
Dude, when you get your mailbox, I actually have a piece of mail. The only thing it needs is an address to be sent to you. So once you get it, you might be really happy with it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. All right. Expat Stacker, we'll get on that. Okay, guys, thank you once again. Really enjoyable discussion, lots of laughs, and I think we're gonna get a lot of great comments about the community, and I'm definitely gonna get on that. I've emailed like the Perth Mint before and stuff, and I never heard back from them. So I'm gonna try to email the US Mint, and if they don't get back to me, we'll just still figure out a way to do it. So leave comments on the video about that, and that's it. That's going to do it for this part 2 of this episode. And really appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot, everybody. And we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on.